when people don't get you or something you're trying to do, a goal, a career, just anything that you're trying to achieve that they don't comprehend, they don't understand, tell them that you're working on the thing that they don't support. See what their reaction is. So let me use an example. We just passed Thanksgiving, and say a family gets together every year, like an extended family in one location. Say they all go to like New York or something to someone's house, and you got like this big 50-person Thanksgiving. And so maybe a young man, like out of high school or something, or just out of college, like young man doesn't want to go this year. And so the family ends up dragging him to this Thanksgiving family reunion. But what if this young man is in a band, right? What if he's like trying to like really work on his album with his band back home, or maybe they have like their first live show, or they're recording an album, or something that's important to them in that band. So that's like on those dates. So they're like, no, I don't want to go to this Thanksgiving reunion, but the family ends up dragging them there. And when they're a kid, playing in the garage or something and still living off of their family, off of their parents, the parents give them the talk of, well, you got to be realistic. Not everyone's going to be a musician. You have to have a fallback plan. You have to go to college. You have to do this. You have to do that. Music isn't a real job, and they don't take it seriously. Okay, so up to a certain point, yes, you could say that the family is looking out for that kid. So, like, if you're like a kid that's just out of high school or out of college, and all you want to do is smoke weed and play music and never have any other kind of job or motivation, and yeah, I guess the parents could come and say, hey, you need to have some kind of work while you're pursuing music. That would be like a healthy way to approach that with your kid. But say the kid out of high school or out of college, say he gets like a minimum wage job working at a gas station. And so he's doing that like a Monday through Friday or whatever. And then Saturday, Sunday is his weekends. And maybe he is taking a little bit of time off around Thanksgiving. So now that he has that job, the parents don't have the leverage to say, oh, well, what's your fallback plan, or music isn't a real career, because he has a job, right? Like, it's over. Like, you wanting to look out for him as like the supportive parents that care about his future. Okay, up to a certain point, yes, but he has a job working at a gas station, just doing what he can. I mean, this is a hard world, it's a hard economy. Let the kid just work at the gas station while he's doing other things. If he wants to still do music on his weekend, on his 2 days off after working, let the kid do it. You know, and so you're gonna drag him to the reunion still because you don't take his band seriously, right? So when the kid gets dragged to the reunion and that he like lashes out and there's like family arguments and like, I don't know why my family doesn't get along, and I don't know why my kid is lashing out like this. Well, it's because you don't understand the person, right? Like so the kid just needs to like eventually tell his family, like, you know, like, you people don't support what I'm doing. It's like, you don't get what I'm doing. I'm working on the thing that you people don't fucking support. It's just that simple. We're gonna go to this reunion. The family's gonna turn on music from other people, right? They're gonna be all like the 50 of them at this massive reunion. They're gonna like turn on music from someone else, right? And they don't get why that's a huge slap in the face to that kid that might want to like go and work on it, right? Like, because he's just always part of the family. And if they're used to meeting every year as the extended family, and you know, you have like the grandma that's like, oh well, you're getting taller, or just like, you know, and then so everyone has their idea that that's just like a kid in the family, like that's his identity. So if he actually goes and takes that band to a level where he's playing shows, he's on tour, he's making money from that, suddenly the family feels like they have to like look up to him now, right? They don't want to look up to him. It's like their psychology. They think he's like the little kid from the family and they're all older than him. They don't want to look up to him. He comes from the same four walls. He comes from the same bloodline, the same group of people. So when they see him as a baby getting his diapers changed up to 18 post high school and like 22 post college, he's pursuing his music on his 2 days off from working at that gas station Monday through Friday. And so he doesn't want to go to the reunion because he's working. He's working on his own life. Yes, you can pull the whole, like, we care about your future, we don't want you to make bad choices. You can pull that up to a certain point when the kid is just like, you know, if he's after high school, after college, doesn't want to do anything except music, and he's still living at the parents' house. Yeah, there's a certain age down the line where it's like, hey, at least get a part-time job to do something, or at least like start looking for a job, start applying. I get it. You're motivating the kid. You're giving him good habits to be good in the world, to do something that is sustainable. But when he has that job, don't just say, oh, well, you can't work at a gas station forever. It's like, what do you want him to do? Like, if it was easy to just manifest like some awesome life out of nowhere, everyone would be doing it. It's hard to go into the world, start at the bottom and work your way up. Not only that, but like discovering yourself, discovering what you want to do, discovering what you can do, discovering what other people perceive you as. See, this family, they look at the kid and they have their identity on the kid, but the world doesn't view it that way. Right? Like, you might view that kid in your family, you might attribute certain negative qualities to him. Other people in the world are seeing that as positives. So, but on the flip side of that, you're seeing your kid in this really positive light because he's part of your family. Someone else in the world attributes something negative. So your sense of his identity is not his identity, because in different contexts, people see that differently. So that kid just needs to understand when his family is pressuring him to get a job because he's not doing anything, that's a certain level of caring about him. But when he has that minimum wage job at the gas station and they're still just being weird about oh, like, you need a degree, or you need this, or that's not good enough, what's your next step, and they don't take the music seriously, the kid just needs to be like, you know why I'm not going to the reunion this year? Because I'm working on the thing that you people don't fucking support. That's what the kid needs to say. That's what the kid needs to say to his family, to his friends, to people that don't believe in what he's doing. Don't give the music isn't a realistic career. Like, the people telling you that, like, listen to music, right? It's just not you that they're supporting. They're supporting someone else. Just see the psychology of that. It's just like, why would he break out of the crab bucket? Why would he move on and make the rest of our group look dumb? Why do we have to have jobs while he's doing something artistic? That's all it is. And there's personal history. So that kid that's like 18 out of high school or 22 out of college, they remember that time he was 14 and messed up on that one thing. So that's just like part of their view of his identity, which has nothing to do with the album he's producing with his band. But see, this is going to get into the kid's mind in terms of his life moves. He's going to actually think that music isn't a real career, right? That's going to be in his head about the reality of that, but it's just not true. Even like a kid that's in high school band, people look at it like, oh, he's in high school band, so that's just like a hobby that you do in high school, but then you graduate high school, get into the real world, go to college, pursue your degree, and that's just what you did in high school. It's like, no, like, he could be playing in a symphony or something, or he could start his own band, or he could produce music, or he could be a music teacher, or get into like music theory. Like, there's ways to do it if you just weren't around so many dumb, negative people. But see, that's the thing that you got to break out of, because up to a certain age, you're only around whatever your environment is. So you're getting your knowledge of the world from these people. So you got to understand the difference between someone actually caring about your well-being and your future, and they're just like jealous to see your advancement. Like, they don't want his band to take off, because what's I going to say about the rest of the family? So say he's been working with his band, his buddies, through like college years. Like, he graduates high school, they start the band at 18, and now they're like 22, like first year after college. They've been working for 4 years, the band's getting good, and they've put their music online to a point where they're building followers, so they can actually think about like their first live show or their first real tour. And no, even though they're not going to make enough money to support themselves the rest of their life off of one tour, it's a start. That's how you start your band. That's how you start your goal, how you start your career. So maybe they schedule that tour on Thanksgiving week or Thanksgiving weekend, but the family doesn't respect it, and they go to that reunion in New York with 50 family members every year. So they start questioning what the kid's doing. Oh, he doesn't want to hang out with the family anymore. Like, he's going through something. It's like, yeah, I'm going through the fact that strangers support it more than you do. Like, I'm working on the thing that you people don't support. Like, that's just what it is. You know, you can take that in whatever way you want to take that, but that's just the truth. Like, people don't get what they're supporting and what they're not supporting. It doesn't matter that you're a family member or a friend, or we went to school together, or we work together. That's different than that person like pursuing that band on their weekend. or they pursue photography on the weekend, want to be a photographer. I mean, you have wall hangings in your house. You just bought it from a store. You didn't pay that person. So they're working on the thing that you don't support, right? Someone's starting a business. People around you, they buy from other businesses. They don't get why you're so distant and why you want to be alone and spend a few years grinding. They spend your 20s like working your way up, or your 30s working, or your 40s or 50s, wherever you're at. They don't get why you're changing. It's like, you're not paying me. You're not supporting my rent. You're not supporting my bills or my livelihood or my spiritual advancement. I'm working on something that you don't support. And that you need to get yourself into this place of being able to relay this to people. You can't just be pushed around when it's not their place to push you around. Like I said, that kid that's like 18 or 22 or whatever, if he's just like, smoking weed all day, drinking, not holding down any job, and also living off of the family in the house, not doing anything to contribute, yeah, there's maybe a conversation of, hey, you need to at least start looking for part-time work or a couple hours here, just even something small. That's a legit supportive family that cares about the well-being of that kid. But then when he has that job, you can't just keep kicking the can down the road. The kid's going to do what he can do. He can't be other people. So maybe at this point in his life, he has to take that gas station job, minimum wage, for a couple hours. Support the kid in doing that. He's working. So stop with the, that's not credible to me. If he works that gas station job Monday through Friday, and on his weekend he chooses to do that music, he has every right to not go to the family reunion, because the family isn't supporting it. And the quicker you see that, the quicker your goals are going to go somewhere. So understand when people don't get what you're doing, and they don't understand your path or your goals or your vision, you just need to relate to them that you're working on the thing that they don't support.